Good morning and welcome to a very, very misty Chedworth Wood. It's awesome. This is the second time I've visited this wood in the last few days, and on both occasions we had fog. So I came over here a couple of days ago, but it was a bit later in the morning and the mist wasn't quite as thick as it is now. But yeah, I managed to get a few nice images. I may or may not have already put a video up about that little trip out. At this moment in time, whilst I'm recording this video, I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going to put that video up or not. I'm not overly happy with some of the footage. I had some issues with my main vlogging camera. But yeah, if I don't put that video up, I'll certainly put the images I got that day up at some point during this video. But I thought, as we were forecast to get some more fog and it was going to linger for quite a while, I thought I'd come straight out to Chedworth Wood this morning. So it's earlier than last time and there is more mist around. It's very ethereal. It's not quite as quiet as it was a couple of days ago. I've already heard, well, a couple of people having a wander around, but still fairly quiet in comparison to a lot of places. This fine looking structure you see beside me, or behind me, is a tree I captured well over a year ago, and I'm sure I've posted pictures, there's possibly even pictures in one of my very first videos. If not, I will have a look, see if I've got a decent image and stick that up just to show you what I got then. At some point during this morning I will take another image. I gotta be honest, I did get a bit confused between this and another tree the other day. I thought it had perhaps just collapsed and I was just taking pictures of a dilapidated tree that I'd done before, but apparently that's not the case. Also, over yonder, you can't see it, straight over there, is a tree that it's produced my favourite image so far, the favourite image that I've posted so far. I've got another image that I'm working on at the moment that I took a couple of days ago that is probably even better than that one. Just concerns another couple of trees that are just a little bit further along, which I'm going to head to in a second. Unfortunately, there's just a little bit of well, there's going to always be sky in the image just because of the way the image is, but because we're later in the day, the sunlight was a lot brighter than I wanted it to be, so it's a little blown out of that image. It still works, but I wanted, or at the time when I was editing the image, I wanted to almost straight away come back and have another go, and fortunately I'm able to do that today. So I'm going to make my way over to that little scene and get myself set up and show you what I've got once I get over there. So here we are. We're actually looking at the reverse side of the image I took a couple of days ago. As you can see, the atmosphere, well, I hope you can see it on the camera, the atmosphere is just awesome. The mist is thicker than it was before, the light's a bit duller. Oh, it's awesome. You might think, oh yeah, it looks awesome, can't quite see the image you're going to get. But trust me, I think this might be one of my better images. This fallen tree and this tree here, although it doesn't look overly exciting from this angle, are the subjects of my image. So if we just make our way to the other side. Try not to fall over. So this is roughly the image I took the other day. Looks a bit. I'm a bit nearer to the trees than I was when I actually took the photo, because this camera's got a lot wider angle on it. But basically, that's my image. And when I originally was setting up, I was just looking at this fallen tree on the right, and that was going to be my main subject. But as I got back and studied the scene, it sort of became apparent that I'd got essentially a couple of characters within the trees, not something I always look for or always recognise within trees that I'm shooting, but it was easy to see in this one. And over the last couple of days I've been really trying to think of what I could call this image, because essentially what I see, I've got the tree on the left is basically, well, it's standing over and either making the tree on the right cower down, or he's already knocked it down. I say he, it could be a she, who knows. But yeah, it just seems to be the tree on the left is overpowering the tree on the right, and where that tree has fallen, it's kind of cowering and sort of going, no, don't hurt me, or I submit. But yeah, I say the issue I've got to try and overcome today, and it still looks like it might be an issue, is right at the top of the screen you can see the sky, and it's quite bright even though it's still early morning. But hopefully I can have a play and reduce that somewhat. I say in the first image I've got, which I really like, it's a bit bright, but I can sort of get away with it. It kind of adds to show where the lighting of the scene is coming from. And of course it's one of these images where if I cut the image or crop the image down anymore to cut the sky out, the image just doesn't work. I've tried, it just doesn't. So yeah, I'm going to get myself set up and see what I can make of this. Now, you might not be able to see it, but if you look straight over the fallen tree, you may or may not be able to see another tree. I didn't spot this until I'd actually looked at the images on the computer, and to me, it just looks like a little fun character in the background having a little bit of a dance. Makes me think of Groot out of Guardians of the Galaxy to some extent. But when you've got this serious scene in front of you, and then you look back and you find you've got a dancing tree, it makes you chuckle, or at least it made me chuckle a little bit. Right, so I'm going to get set up and I'm going to take this image. Right, I think I'm about done with this little scene, or this little area. I've sort of taken the same sort of shot that I took a couple of days ago. I'm sort of fairly happy with it, although I think the light was better last time, although there is a bit more mist kicking around. The light, I think because it was later in the day, it was a bit warmer, so if I'm here a bit later I might come back and try that again. But yeah, fairly happy with the results I've got so far. I've also had a little bit of a play with a different composition. I've tried a vertical pano. Don't know how that's going to work out, but yeah, basically I've done a vertical pano, the tree behind me, and involving there's a couple of still very green firs, heather, firs, I don't know. Who should know by now? I don't know the names of stuff. Yeah, tried a vertical pano with that. It may or may not work, I don't know. I also spotted there's like a little tree over there. I don't know what sort of tree it is, probably a birch tree. Considering what's around, it's still got its orange leaves on it, although not bright orange, they're sort of dull orange. There's a little bit of light, so I've had a go at that. And I've also took a picture of me dancing tree off in the background. It's not very good. Well, it's a snapshot. But yeah, I think I'm done with this little bit of woodland. I'm just going to move probably back over to the tree I was first at when I got here, see what I can get of that. I mean, fortunately, all the trees that I like to take images of in this bit of woodland are all in a very small area, which is quite nice. That's not to say there aren't any other trees around. I just haven't found them. I tend to have stuck to this little area. There's just loads of potential for this. Yeah, gonna move on and see what else I can get. As you've probably just seen on the little bit of video footage, I've got a number of trees in very close proximity. I've already done a couple of images. Let's see if we can get over here. I've done these ones here. It's a tree I've done quite a few times before, as with all the other trees I've done today. With this one, actually seen something a little bit more to it today. Obviously thinking about characterising the trees. To some extent I've always thought of this one as a kind of tree that's kind of just having a go at somebody. It looks as bad it's about to attack. But when you actually look further beyond it, there's another tree that, although it's not exactly the same shape, it's doing a similar sort of thing with its branches. It's got a very long branch, a two-pronged branch, or a branch that goes into two prongs, again stabbing forward, and it just gave me the impression that I've got a couple of soldiers there, either advancing forward or defending their position. And I stood there looking at it for a while. You can see the two trees that are sort of in defence mode or attack mode, and then you've got two trees that are just fairly straight, fairly bland really, because they don't look as though they're doing anything, but it looks like they're being defended. So yeah, I'm going to now be spending a couple of days trying to work out a name for that one, as well as the scene from the other day. I've shot a couple of images of this one up here, just because I like the shape. I've done kind of a full, I don't know what that's about. I've done a portrait one of it, just so you get the whole sort of tree in. But then I've also done just a landscape one, just focusing on the two bottom branches, or main bottom branches, just because I like the shape. But I also, after taking a couple of just sort of straight on shots, I moved around a bit to the right, because it's just the way the middle set of branches interact with the fir tree next to it. Just they look quite nice. Well, I don't know if nice is quite the right word, but sort of different. It looks like it is reaching towards it, and yeah, I just thought it made for a decent image. I also, as I move around, it also created some separation between the branches and the fir tree, which again I just think improved the composition that I'd got. And now I'm just in the process, if I can get you around, of shooting. If I'm pointing in the right direction, so there's a tree over here. The branch looks like it's snapped from right at the top. Obviously the branch used to stretch right up into the sky, but obviously it snapped, it's fallen down, and then we've got all these smaller branches down here. They just remind me of lightning just striking the ground, so I'm just seeing if I can get a composition with them in. It may or may not work, but the fog is still hanging around, and I'm thinking I just want a nice sort of tree scene, not necessarily any particular trees, but just some uniform trees with the mist just embracing them, perhaps a bit of splash of colour in there as well. So once I've got a few images here, I'm going to have a little bit of a wander and see what else I can get. Right, well, I'm not sure how good the audio is going to be. This is just a bit of a test for my camera. There's no mic attached to it. Yeah, so I thought I'd just do a bit off the cuff B-roll. I've had a wander around now, and I've wanted to get just a scene of trees, sort of well, not necessarily uniform. You're not going to get uniform trees in this wood, but I just wanted to get some a scenic image. The trees surrounded by the mist. Although the mist is still getting a little bit thicker at the minute, the light hasn't quite been right yet. I've come to an area that I came to a couple of days ago, and there's some trees over there that I took an image of. Sort of happy with the image, but there's too much of this, like the bracken and the heather in the way. I would have just liked it to have been the trees without anything in the foreground, but just because of the way they're located a bit further down the hill, I don't think I'm going to get that. I've had a look already, and the light just wasn't right. It was getting quite bright actually, and the fog had dissipated a bit, but he now seems to be coming back, so I'm going to have another look to see if I can get something there. If not, I've been having a little play with this little hut that's just further down the path. Took a picture of it years ago from down the hill. Not a great image, just a bit of a snapshot. But I'm going to look today, see if I can do anything better with it, with the fog and the conditions we've got today. So yeah, just going to quickly see if I can get an image while this fog's around. Alright, let's go. Well, I'm back where I started the day, back at my lovely little scene of dominance and submission. Not quite sure that's going to be the name for it. Nah, I'll get there eventually. Right, and so I'm back to where I started the day. The mist and fog has kind of come in a bit more, and the light's also a bit dimmer at the moment, so I'm just going to hang around for a bit and see what the conditions do. Just get a few more images in the bank, because it's not every day I manage to get out and about with these conditions. They always seem to happen when I'm not actually at work. So the last couple of days that I've been out and about with these conditions, I just feel really lucky. How many reels was that? Probably too many. So yeah, I'm going to hang around here for a bit, grab a few more images, and then call it a day. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.